What if I told you that every teaspoon of sugar you add to your coffee is part of a global operation worth $50 billion, involving fields the size of small countries and machines powered by artificial intelligence? Imagine a crop that circles the earth more than 50 times. That's over 1.9 billion tons of sugarcane harvested each year. This is not just farming. It's an economic empire built on sweetness, stretching from Brazil's sun-drenched plantations to India's monsoon-fed valleys and Thailand's bustling refineries. I'm from Agri360X channel, and today we'll reveal how technology, tradition, and trade converge to bring sugar to your table. If you crave the real story behind everyday foods, hit like, drop a comment, and subscribe to Agri360X. New videos Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m., plus a special at noon on weekends. Sugarcane is the world's largest crop by weight. But did you know Brazil alone produces 40% of global sugarcane, over 700 million tons annually? India follows with 20%, harvesting around 350 million tons. Other giants include China, Thailand, and Pakistan. When it comes to exports, Brazil and Thailand lead. Thailand exported 11 million tons of raw sugar in 2023, while Brazil's refiners shipped over 20 million tons of refined sugar. On the import side, the European Union and China top the list, importing 12 million and 8 million tons respectively in 2023 to sweeten their foods and fuels. How did these nations climb to the top? It's a mix of climate, scale, and government policies, and, increasingly, cutting-edge technology. Planting sugarcane used to be backbreaking. Farmers cut sections of cane, plant them by hand in furrows, and pray for rain. In parts of India and Africa, this method still persists. Each farmer can plant about 0.5 hectare per day. Contrast that with Brazil's agribusiness model. GPS-guided tractors plant 10 hectares per hour. Satellites and drones monitor crop health, analyzing NDVI, normalized difference vegetation index, to spot stress before the eye sees it. As a result, Brazilian plantations average 80 tons per hectare, while traditional fields in India yield only 60 tons per hectare. At the same time, smallholder farms argue that hand planting preserves soil structure and biodiversity. Which approach is more sustainable? The debate rages on. Once sugarcane is mature, usually after 10-18 months, harvest begins. But here's the twist. From the moment a cane is cut, its sugar content starts to degrade. Mills demand cane within 24 hours. Otherwise, sucrose levels drop drastically. In Thailand, nearly 700,000 workers manually cut cane, loading it onto waiting trucks. Meanwhile, in Australia, self-driving harvesters slice through fields at 3 km/h, harvesting 100 tons per day. Every year, global harvest totals 1.9 billion tons, enough to circle the earth over 50 times if laid end to end. Entire villages celebrate harvest festivals, while megafarms operate like well-oiled machines under floodlights. Now imagine a mill the size of a city block. Inside, steel rollers crush cane stalks to extract juice. 30% of the mass becomes fiber, called bagasse. That bagasse is burned to power boilers, generating electricity enough for the mill and sometimes for nearby villages. In India, bagasse-fired boilers supply 20% of the nation's renewable energy. In Brazil, mills are so efficient they export surplus power to the grid. Critically, modern mills use AI algorithms to monitor juice purity, brix levels, automate lime dosing, and adjust vacuum pans for crystallization, boosting juice extraction from 92% historically to over 96% today. Fresh cane juice is full of impurities, mud, waxes, bacteria. Mills add lime and heat to clarify it. The clear juice is then concentrated, boiled under vacuum, and seeded with microscopic sugar crystals. Today's computer-controlled crystallizers ensure each seed grows at the optimal rate. In contrast, a century ago, a millman gauged sugar quality by taste and feel of raw crystals, a lost art. It takes roughly 15 stalks to produce 1 kilo of raw sugar. Worldwide, that translates to about 125 billion stalks crushed daily. Raw sugar is exported to countries like the EU and China, then refined into white, brown, or specialty sugars. In Europe, over 90% of imported raw sugar becomes refined white sugar. But in Japan, fancy brown sugars command prices up to $2 per kilogram, twice the cost of white sugar. Molasses, the thick byproduct, feeds livestock or ferments into alcohol. In Brazil, nearly 50% of sugarcane goes into ethanol production, fueling cars and reducing carbon emissions by about 3 million tons CO2 per year. Even more surprising, scientists are exploring sugarcane bagasse for biodegradable plastics and carbon fiber, turning what was once waste into high-value materials. Once sugar is refined, it's packaged in 50 kiloliters bags, bulk containers, or consumer-size packets. Automated packing lines in Germany can fill 1,000 bags per minute. From there, ships carry sugar to 100-plus countries. In 2023, top exporters were Brazil, 6.7 b, Thailand, 3.1 b, and Australia, 1.2 b. Top importers: EU, 4 b, China, 2.5 b, and Indonesia, 1.5 b. Each port unloads thousands of tons daily, destined for supermarkets, bakeries, and even cosmetic factories. But did you know that nearly 10% of global sugar diverted to humanitarian aid? In some regions, sugar shipments can mean life or death during crises. Sugarcane's success comes at a cost. Vast monoculture fields deplete water. India's Maharashtra region uses 80% of its water for cane irrigation, causing groundwater depletion. In the Amazon, millions of hectares have been cleared for plantations, threatening biodiversity. Yet, companies are fighting back. Brazilian mills now treat 95% of their effluent, reducing pollution. In Thailand, smallholder programs pay farmers a premium for eco-friendly practices, preserving wetlands that filter cane runoff. And then there's the labor issue. 500,000 child laborers still work on sugarcane farms worldwide. Technology can help. Automated harvesters reduce the need for manual labor, but the human cost remains a concern. So, what's next for the sugar empire? Imagine drones that spray exactly the right fertilizer, robots that sort cane by quality, and gene-edited cane with 20% higher sucrose. Startup AgriSuite in California is developing lab-grown sugar from fermentation. No cane fields needed. Will we see a world where sugar is produced in bioreactors instead of fields? Will small farmers be left behind, or will technology empower them to compete? Here's the question for you. If you could redesign sugar production from scratch, what would you change, and why? Drop your answers below, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Agri360X, where we uncover the hidden stories of agriculture and technology. We post videos Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m., with weekend specials at noon. See you next time. Stay curious, stay sweet.